I,
We are live, pal.
we are live. We are live. We are live. Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what this is in my Jermaine Dupri voice. You know what I'm saying? We are live. The
Salute that.
the reasonably late show. I kind of dig this little. I kind of dig it. You know what I'm saying? If we can kind of.
Dig it.
If we can harness it, you know what I'm saying. I kind of dig I kind of dig
The
the
late night.
three yeah the late night joint that we got going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
it's fire. I mean, I feel like it doesn't allow our maximum audience, but last week was pretty lit. People came up and pulled up, and we were chatting. So, like the people that do follow us, and they do get the message that we're out here live in the middle of the night, about to hit the next day, they can tap in and just join us and just talk some shit. So, for the real ones out there, welcome. And for you guys watching on tape delay, welcome as well. This is the Reasonable Wrestling Podcast. But we will get right into the show. We're going to talk a little bit
yeah,
about the
let's you know what we the
Endeavor
reason
acquisition and all
the,
that.
the last two shows we didn't got right to the action, and I know ladies be like, "Dang, you don't know how to warm us up. You don't know how to you don't know how to foreplay. You don't know how to." So guess what? You know what? We're gonna go ahead and do it how we used to do. We're gonna go into this show like this. Three, two.
It's simple.
Yo, 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 what's happening, everybody? It's I the Most High. My tag team partner, CT, aka Chitty Bang. What's going on, brother?
What's up? What's up? And we are the underground of professional wrestling podcasts here with Reasonable Late on episode 198 with Reasonable Late and Reasonable Wrestling Podcast. So check us out on RW Podcast One. That's
Yes.
our Twitter. Check us on all the medias and socialness. Outside of that, as Reasonable Wrestling Podcast. Check us out and tap in. We got Mad Wrestling Takes up there on IG, Reasonable Wrestling Podcast, TikTok, Reasonable Wrestling Podcast, Facebook, all that. And if you're here with us on YouTube, welcome. If you're here with us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you listen to us, thank you for listening. But here, we are here to get to the shits and talk about the week that was and what a week it was in professional wrestling,
What are
man.
we?
What a week. So we had last WrestleMania weekend. It's over. It's over. And right into the next season of wrestling, it was a lot of heat. A lot of heat. But first, let's start with the acquisition. The WWE has been sold. Unbelievably, we talked a little bit about it last week when the news came through. But the acquisition of Endeavor, acquiring WWE, it's going to be merged.
And then merging with
Yeah,
UFC to a fucking sports entertainment conglomerate.
yeah.
It's
So
ridiculous.
hit the clap if you want to hit the clap. Congratulations. I mean, it's going to become a $21.6 billion media entertainment conglomerate. So shout out to them. But
Now, what I do want to kind of pivot into, because I know that we had a pre-tape and a pre-production meeting. I know you're trying to flow into the show, so let me not step too much on your toes. But while we here, everybody, we like to do a couple things on Reasonable Wrestling. If you are new to the show, and if you are familiar with the show, sometimes we get to it late. Sometimes we maybe forget. Sometimes we don't do it at all. But we got a segment called Business and
business
Logic,
and logic.
which is kind of the reason why you have the Reasonable Wrestling name in itself, because we wanted to kind of like, yo, what is the logical take behind this? What is like erase the fandom, right? Erase the all of fantasy. And Chidi and I, we have been battling almost 5 years now, in regards to what this actually means to us, for us, and we had to look at it as a business,
I
right?
mean, think about it. I'm not. You're the only one here with actual stake in the company, nigga. So, like, you more than anybody should be looking at this as a business. So I don't know what happened to the stock price. You tell me. Have you looked at it?
Hold on, I'm about to hit the Jalen Ramsey. You tell me. You tell me.
You tell
Tell,
me.
tell me. You hit up to 100. You tell me.
Word up,
I
dog.
mean, so, but that, but that's what a that's what a business and logic comes from, right? So the business and logic is like, yes, WWE currently right now stock is as high as it's supposed to be. You cash out now, you do what you want. And now the thing about it is, now this $21.6 billion conglomerate, we don't know what that actually is valued at, right? It hasn't gone public. The shares hasn't went out to invest. Like,
Yeah.
you don't actually know what that is actually valued at and what New York Stock Exchange sees as the value of that. But we do know that those within sports media rights and TV deals and things of that nature knows that WWE and UFC and sports in general, let's put this, live television programming where you can't take delay it is very much in high demand when it comes to these conglomerates in media. When you talk about Warner Brother or Comcast or NBC Universal, or falls under Comcast, but there's only a few, right, who can actually acquire these things, put them on their television, and get the ad revenue to make it make sense for the business side of it. When we looked at the sale of WWE previously in previous years, we thought that, with the relationship with NBC, Comcast, possibly, we thought that Walt Disney might be in a private sector of Saudi. There has been a ton of scuttlebutt around what and who and where and how WWE will be sold. And out of nowhere, Endeavor was like, we already did this once. We took a controversial circus carny thing. Like, this is the carcass of sports entertainment, right? We're talking
Not anymore.
Talking about human cockfighting in UFC, and we're talking about a live dramatization of fake fighting and
that's the bare bones of it. Yeah, I can see where it's come from, but at this point, these things are make bread. Like, this is like buying shit. What's it related to? Like buying NASCAR, in a sense. Like, if it's on that level to me, because it's huge brands. And I mean, I'm not sure how Endeavor got that group together to buy a UFC in the first place. I think it's crazy. I know they're agents and they were been in the business of making big deals, but it's fascinating that you got to not just get UFC. A couple years later, you get WWE, which is like, we never thought in a million years that Vince was even going to sell. So, like, the implications of that is huge for a company as asset. Now it's a lot of fucking work, to now say, what do you do with it now? Like, where do you go from here now? And I think Endeavor is going to do the right thing and putting people in the right places, to keeping Vince on the books, to keeping everybody in order. It's almost like working as separate entities with underneath the umbrella. But when it comes down to making some TV deals, when it comes down to selling the rights, certain things, they are the ones that own it. So we're going to see how it moves.
Well, I would say this. It is a 51-49 majority really doesn't sway a lot. Like Vince still has majority share of WWE. So therefore,
even with the sale, he has more shares.
Huh?
So with the sale of WWE,
with the sale of WWE could not have happened without Vince McMahon. That's first and foremost.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So with that being said, when they was like, "Hey, Vince is back, Vince is around," Vince has been parlaying around, and he has to be there because he owns the majority shares of WWE.
Yeah, he would not allow it to be sold without him returning to the company.
So now with that being said, Vince is now on the board, quote unquote, of this new merger company
Yeah.
that now owns what used to be his. And with that being said, he is still majority stake owner of that 49%, if that's what I'm understanding correctly. So,
I didn't hear
so,
that.
so I mean, yeah. So WWE isn't just sold, and he is like, it's not that he's just sold it, and WWE is no longer under the umbrella or the thumb per se
What's up?
of the control. What's going on with it, man? What's going on?
11,
How's it
11.
going, man?
Make a wish. Shit.
That was you. I'm like, oh, we both. I think from and again, I can pull up an article and just verify that while we're rapping, but I do believe that Vince in the minority ownership has majority stake in that minority share, if that makes
Okay. All right.
sense. So with all that being said, the maneuvering of this, and you ask why Endeavor is the one who got it. Look, Endeavor bought UFC. Endeavor essentially has Dana White. Again, they bought UFC. They own UFC. But essentially, Dana White is still the man, the guy, the face, the front. Still essentially, in all intents and purposes, the person who runs UFC.
The figurehead.
So essentially, with WWE, that's essentially what Vince would be. You said, hey, I have a question to ask before y'all wrap up. What's going on, man? Go ahead and send a question. We here right now, just parlaying, just getting.
We actually just getting started,
just
so
getting
we ain't wrapping up
started,
anytime
man.
soon.
We just got started, man. I don't hear the kids crying in the back, so hopefully I'm here for a minute, you know. But I think with Vince finding a buyer, he had to find someone that he felt like that would not take away what he felt like is so essential to him, which is his ability to tap in. I think anybody else would have moved it forward, got him out the way. You know, he's done what he's done in the public figure. They trying to move away from that with the sale. But if you can see Endeavor, they don't mind bringing in, taking on that heat or whatever the case may be. Because listen, I'm a conglomerate. UFC and ESPN, you see what the conflict of interest was when they couldn't report on Dana White. You see why in the grand scheme of things, you get into one of these journalistic arms to where you can maneuver and posture and propaganda, you know what I mean? Propagandate the way you want to. And I think that goes to a lot of how this sale happened as well.
I do believe, like you said, though, prior to coming on the pod, this does change things as far as the merger happening with UFC and WWE. They're going to be changing and merging. Obviously, a lot of the business side of things. You don't need two marketing. You don't need two marketing departments. In the company, you don't need two advertising. They need to merge a lot. So there's going to be a lot of layoffs coming, and I think that as time goes on, the effects of this acquisition is not going to be seen immediately. I think that you will see it though. I don't think this is going to be like something that because it came out on Raw Monday, Triple H and Vince. I don't want to ever see Vince and Triple H do the same PR thing of then now together forever. I don't want to see that shit anymore. That public relations bullshit to start the show. We get it. We know what's going on. That just rings hollow to me. I don't need all that. Just say, listen, you had the press conference. You already said we're going to keep doing things the way you're doing it. Just go on and put a show. We don't need you to do all that PR shit.
Why wouldn't you do? And I don't want to get bogged down in this, but Did Now Forever has been gone. It's been forever. You want to take that away now because you feel like it doesn't mean anything?
I'm saying that every time Vince or Triple H opens up a show with telling us, "Hey guys, we had a great show, and we're not changing, we're not going anywhere. We're gonna be then now together forever." all that stuff, I think is waste of time for the television show. Just skip that segment and go on to the show. Like if you want to talk, you have a press conference. You can say that to people like, hey, listen, that doesn't mean nothing. We're here to watch TV now. We're here to watch your actual product. To me,
that do mean something though. I'm glad we're here. No, but this is the business and the logic, right? As soon, and again, internet talk really don't move shit, really. But we've seen it move stuff. So we can't say it's not important and we say it is important. We can just say it's fluid, right? In my Stephen A, it's fluid. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, Vince,
Ronan, we're gonna get right with you.
We're about to get right with you, cuz Vince wanted to dip his toe to see where his motherfucking. I do believe that Vince was feeling himself. He made the deal. Everybody's seen that he made the deal. It's already been there and Vince wanted to stroke it one more time. Pause.
So that's why he sent trips out there?
Yes.
But here's the thing though, like we don't need all that. And also when Vince had the whole scandal, he came out there too. It's weird. It's weird to start the show when some public thing goes down to then be like, hey guys, just so you know, we're gonna kind of talk about it, but not really talk about it.
They think it's gonna affect the show. Like, they honestly think they honestly think, and that's why you can tell if you look at the difference between Raw and SmackDown. You've seen the stark difference in the quote unquote, hey, Triple H is going to make an announcement. Hey, Triple H is going to make an announcement, and how those announcements were made because they fucked up on one night and redid it the next night. You know,
I was like, bro, you don't need to do all this shit. An announcement that's not an announcement, like it's just weird. I'm just being honest. It's just public relations weirdness to start your show, to start off, right after WrestleMania. We get it. WrestleMania was hot. Just to say then now forever, oh yeah, we're in the news right now and all that stuff. We hear it. Yeah, we don't need to address it on television. What's going on with Roman? What's going on with Cody? Like that's what we want to talk about right after. And then eventually they brought Roman on Raw and we got to the shit. So, but all that stuff before it, don't need it. My point with the whole conversation with this acquisition is stick to what you're doing. If it's gonna be the same, don't go too deep into the weeds on television with it. And if you're not going to go too deep at all, which you don't, then don't do it at all. Like, because it's like all this vague conversation of we're the talk of the town. Without saying that you sold on TV.
No, I love what you're saying. Though, but I mean, listen, they got to play the game because again, why do those fake press conferences at the end of WrestleMania? Which let's get into my homie's
Those are
question.
Fake though.
No, they are. This is what I'm saying. You play the role of it being real and fake kayfabe when you come out there and say, "Hey, we want to let you know we did something PR. We sold. Don't want you niggas to think that we sold." Like that I think that was the thing. Like I think they wanted to. I think that the whole thing was like, "Yeah, come out and run a TV show." And if them niggas would have did the TV show, listen, honestly. If you don't send Triple H as the fall guy, and you be like, that's a Vince show, we gonna be like, oh, these niggas sold, and this shit gonna be trash. It's two different things.
I don't know about that. For me, maybe for some other people, but I hear what you're saying. For some people, are like, oh shit, they sold the company and they sold the fuck out. Like they don't even give a fuck anymore.
Because you already knew. You was like, when they go to Disney, I don't want no Disney shit. I don't want no mouse shit. When they go down, you project it whenever you project it, and like I said, I'm like, bro, I don't think
they sold to the right people. I mean, for me, I'm cool with whatever they did, but if they went to Disney, that would be different. It would.
But that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. If let's just say this hypothetical, they sold to Disney. Triple H don't come out and do the show, and they have that horrible ass show. You can be like, these niggas sold to Disney, and this the worst fucking shit I ever saw. And that's why they say, let's send it out the trips, because this show gonna be shitty, and we're just gonna put it on us. Right. I like that. I honestly like that because
let's get into it. Let's get into the actual show of Raw.
Okay.
Let's get into Ronan's comment first.
All right, let's get
going off right now.
So with Roman Reigns first and foremost, Roman got a whole nother 8 years to get to Bruno Sammartino. Like we forget. That motherfucker was champion for 9 years, nigga. Bro, we ain't even halfway to this Roman shit.
Yo, Bruno, man.
So,
Yeah, that dude had it on lock, man. He was like the only guy, and he wrestled like what every 2 months, maybe. But could this be the year Roman loses the championship belt to Cody Rhodes? I personally believe, and we'll like everybody, it might be a popular opinion. They should have dropped the belt to Cody on WrestleMania. In my opinion, I think that was the right time to do it. I don't think Cody would have been. I don't know if Cody's going to be as hot whenever they drop it, or if somebody else gets it from Roman, if they're going to be as hot as Cody is or was at WrestleMania. I don't know personally.
Now I'm not gonna disagree with you on that, but I am gonna tell you that like if you invested in a story, you invested in a story. Let me tell you this right now. The reason why niggas were so invested in the Cody Rhodes, because A, they are tired of Roman Reigns, and B, like you say, Cody is kind of the guy to do it. What's fucking stopping Cody still being the guy to do it?
No, I don't think anything stops it. But I think he can still be the guy. But there is a pocket of crowd of people that's saying no, it shouldn't be Cody because he missed it and all that stuff, which I don't buy into. I think Cody could still have that steam, but I think WrestleMania was the moment. I do think that was a time to make that moment happen. Regardless of, I think what they want is Roman to hit 1,000 days, and I think beyond that, we'll see. It's kind of up in the air. They might fluctuate. But when you get to 940, whatever rest of my days, and WrestleMania hits,
it was 945. Yeah, it was 945
WrestleMania, and it's like they're like, we're kind of so close to 1,000. You want to break a record? You want to go there? And we haven't seen that since Hulk Hogan. That is what they kind of are going for with Roman. I do think Cody will win the championship. Now you brought up July 7th. That might be the day, and if that's the day, I'm going to be there. I will be there in house.
You going to Madison Square Garden?
I'm figuring it out. That July 7th is the venue. If they are booking Cody and Roman that night, fuck yeah, I'm there. I'm in house. I'm gonna get that ticket right now. So I think that could it be the day? I would love to see that be the moment. It'll be huge. And being that he's a student of the game, Cody's like a student of the game. He's a guy who's a kind of a traditional guy. Madison Square Garden being like the home of WWE, it'll be very, very fitting. Do I think it's going to happen then? I don't think so, honestly. I think Roman's holding this to at least SummerSlam and beyond. But I don't know. I think Cody's the guy. I still think Cody's the guy. People are already booking next year's WrestleMania, saying that it should be a triple threat between Cody, Seth, and Roman. I'm not so sure about that. I think between now and next WrestleMania, Roman should drop it, but because I do think it's the bloodline angle can only go so far, and yeah, you don't know what would have happened if you were to give it to Cody as far as intrigue, but I think intrigue would have continue to build, from that point.
Well, I will say this. I mean, because we were very surprised that Cody didn't win on Sunday, but we were okay with it because we're not going to miss this point, right? It's a point to this. Now, granted, we're not, listen, again, for people who do not know us, we ain't never been the ones to give WWE no benefit of the doubt. But I have been more lenient with this regime, this new head coach, this new general manager, this new director of player operations, whatever the title Triple H has that you want to correlate the sports. He's a new voice of reason, and he's been a leader in a direction. Oh, my mic's cracking. All right, hold on. Give me 1 second. Or crackling. All right, give me 1 second. Let me fix that one time down. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate you on that. I would say this.
Good.
Triple H and Vince, they have a similar style and how they want to fuck over the crowd.
I
I'm
think
not.
Triple H is a heel. I think Triple H books from a heel mindset. No, I think that
Yeah.
he remembers the territory days with Ric Flair, where he was just you were just waiting to see him lose, and every time he cheated to win, oh my god, it got under
Bro,
this crowd's
listen,
skin so
it
much.
never hurt Sting. It never hurt Steamboat. Look how many times Rick cheated. How many countries, how many cities, how many times this nigga Rick then cheated and won by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah,
And it never hurt the baby face because if you truly care, and that's the psychology of the character building. If you really psychologically and emotionally are invested in this character and the ride of Cody Rhodes and him winning the championship for himself, for his father, for his daughter, for humanity, for black rights, for women's rights, for kids' rights, for trans rights. Like if you behind Cody Rhodes for tattoos on the neck, like you gonna be behind him. You don't lose faith in that because he lost a match.
I mean,
A
right?
match.
We're saying that today, but if there is a time for you to win, don't get me wrong. Even if you're a hot baby face, there is a moment where you have to win.
Tell that to
And
Seth Rollins right now. He's the hottest fucking person on the roster, dog, and he ain't
he's
won
not.
in
He's. But there's a reason.
forever.
There's a reason why he has. But it's like Seth is hot. His music is hot. There is a moment where Seth even has to win for you to be relevant. And and he has a character that he can be relevant. He's good at what he does. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking nothing from him, but there, even with him, you have to eventually win. He won at WrestleMania against Logan Paul. As far as winning the championship, he has to get more championship opportunities. He won the United States Championship not too long ago. There's a reason why he won it. Like you have to win. So you got Cody right now. We kick off Raw. Roman's kicks it off, getting mad heat, and Cody comes out after them to interfere, his acknowledgement, I guess, and to say, listen, I had your WrestleMania, and he said, listen, he wants a rematch. They say no.
That
Right?
crowd was pretty hot to me.
It was absolutely that crowd was hot, So he says no to the rematch for Cody. But he's like, we got to give this crowd something, a tag match, something. And he's Paul Heyman, speaking for the Tribal Chief, says, yeah, all right, fine, we'll give you a tag match, but here's the stipulations. You got to choose somebody who wrestled on one of the nights WrestleMania, and if they choose to be your tag team partner, they cannot compete for the Universal Championship, Undisputed Championship, as long as Roman holds it. Cue Brock Lesnar. Him and Cody are now tagging against Roman and
To a
Solo.
tremendous pop.
Tremendous pop.
Huge
But
pop.
if you know me, I'm suspicious from jump. I'm like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. The post WrestleMania Brock turn. That's immediately what I thought. And you can go. We have our group chat. In the group chat, right before the match started, I was like, yo, Brock's about to turn on Cody. And sure enough, Brock turns on Cody. And I bring this up to say, if you're going from Roman Reigns losing to him by, Solo's interference and all that stuff, obviously not fair, not clean, to now facing Brock Lesnar, he better beat Brock Lesnar if you want to hold that babyface in high esteem to then eventually get him the championship. If he loses to Brock Lesnar, what they do with this Brock Lesnar match is telling on how they see Cody, in my mind. Is very telling on which direction they're going in. If Cody loses to this, to me, they're not seeing him as the guy to beat Roman. If he wins, there's a chance. So just pay attention to what happens whenever they book this match. This will be the demarcation on where the trajectory of the American Nightmare goes.
I think with that as well. When you're in a program with Brock, you're already seen as a guy. Maybe not the guy, but a guy. But Brock overshadows a lot of people. Finn, Dean, Bray, Kofi, Biggie, Bobby Lashley. Like the list can go on and on of those that he overshadows. But he overshadows a guy. Now I know a lot of people are gonna be like, well, what Finn's the guy and the guy. Like, no, Brock puts over the guy. We talking about Randy's. We talking about Cena's. We talking about we talk about Roman, right? We like Brock puts over the guy. So yes, absolutely. Brock and Cody is a stepping stone from being a guy to the guy. Because like you say, if he beats Brock, he beat the beast. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. You beat the beast, bro. You're Teflon. You can lose. You're Seth Rollins. You're Drew McIntyre. You can lose. You can beat Brock, lose your championship matches, and still be over like a motherfucker. But I think also Cody still got that thing because Drew won a title. Seth won the title. They won it multiple times. Cody still got that beat Brock and still got a chase for the title field. I don't see how this nigga is losing any ground right now.
No, I don't see it yet. But I think, but there's definitely, it's yellow light. There's a caution on Cody right now because you can go left and it can go left. I'm just saying that, hey, I'm waiting to see. Him, Brock turning on him was like clearly to me that, okay, they're not going to go with Cody and Roman as a rematch. Cool. They're going to hold off on that rematch. Eventually, we got to get that. I mean, to me, if that's the last time we see Cody and Roman, it's going to be a letdown for me. Hopefully, they had this somewhere in the plans. But honestly, like Brock is not a good, it's not a bad pivot for Cody by any means. If they're not putting him in a title picture, that is probably the next best thing if you really think about it. But I do think that he has to take the victory, and I think it's going to be a great match whenever they do, when it does happen. So for me, that's my biggest segue from Raw is that it should be a good match, and I know the talk of the town was like Vince booked this show, and I'm not sure if that was his decision, but the show definitely felt like a Vince show, but for that wasn't one of the things that bothered me on the show at all. I think that right there. I mean, if you're a Cody fan, I get it. You're upset. He's getting, he had a rough weekend, rough week. But if he can endure this, like you said, wanted Ronan, it's his version of Hard Times. And that Dusty Rhodes promo is legendary for a reason. Dusty's an embodiment of the everyman and not getting his just due. He's not getting his just due. I keep getting that shit. I can't escape it.
You lucky my nigga. You lucky you got the hoodie on. You just see the nigga with the shoulders. My nigga got the shoulders too. You know what I'm saying?
Stop it. Nah. But yeah, man, I think that this can be just a part of Cody's story. And if you can take it from that point of view, then yeah, this can be a brilliant story for Cody. It can be something that not only helps him from being stale, it actually extends when he gets the championship, how long it goes as far as people being behind him. If he can have some good stories from now until the time he becomes champion, if he does.
Now, what's crazy about you speaking about that is that you say the bloodline story can get stale, or maybe this Cody can get stale. I'm like, they're adding different layers. Maybe it's layers that you may not want. Like I know a lot of people look at people how they make lasagna. Right, you be like, bro, you good, you good. Like you don't need to add another layer. You're like, nah, some more sauce, another layer. You like, another some more sauce, another. You like, damn, nigga, who finna eat all that? That's a lot. But I'm you know what I'm trying to say. Right now, these niggas is adding layers. You like, man, that's a lot of sauce. That's
a lot of fucking cheese.
Nigga, that's
a lot of fucking cheese.
Nigga, that's some indigestion right there. Because you looking at it, like, oh, yo, the easy stuff is the easy low hanging fruit is Cody wins, Sammy wins. We start a new chapter. What that new chapter look like? Brock Lesnar and Cody for the title would have been great. You know, Street Profits and whatever for the tag team. I understand.
Oh, Brock versus Cody for the title would have been awesome. That would have took this angle to the next level because Brock has a reason because he was not able to fight Roman all this time. Now it's just like only thing to me is like why and hopefully we get the answer on Monday. But it doesn't feel. It felt like the Vince booking is like, oh, let's just randomly have something happen and then we'll figure it out later. There's no real rhyme or reason to why Brock would do that. There isn't, but it's Brock, so we just gotta accept it, And there's a lot of things on Monday where it's like, why are we having like Omos versus Elias? There's no reason, but with Triple H booking, it seems like every match had a purpose, for some, even if it's just for this person to get over.
I mean, you go on Friday, right? You look on Friday, the 6-man tag. Right, you got Brawling Brutes versus Imperium,
yeah,
or you go to tag the regular tag. You got Judgment Day versus LWO. Rey Mysterio and Legado. Or you look at
Santos.
What else was on that card for SmackDown as a match? Oh shit, I'm drawing a blank right now. But you see, it was a stark difference in importance of what was taking place on Friday than it was on Monday. And I think, like I said, that's what I mean. Like I thought it was a stab in the dark for Vince to be like, "Do I still have it?" And I think ultimately this was honestly like, if we're going to keep using the analogy, they had a home game. It's a very live crowd, and they let the old coach call plays. And this nigga was like, wishbone. 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 And niggas
like running straight into the defensive lineman.
Like, where's the passing plays? Can we get a flea flicker, please? Like, where is the imagination? And I think literally, this is Triple H at the end of the night. This Triple H at the end of the night. Taking the headphones like, you did good, Pops. You did good.
Yeah. Vince told Triple H to go out there, start the show, and snuck into his seat and said, we're gonna rewrite this bitch. Like,
no, he said, go out there and say this and said, what is it? Get on your feet, lose your seat, nigga. And that's how he lost. That's how Triple H lost it, nigga.
Move your feet, lose your seat, bitch.
That's how Triple H lost it, nigga.
Musical chairs up in this bitch.
Vince came in and said, "Hey, everybody didn't stand for the press conference, pal. Go out there, give them the numbers, give them the rah-rah speech, tell them nothing's gonna happen, and we're good." Trips is like, "All right, I can do that." Bow down to the
Vince is like,
Vince is like, hey, Kevin, I'm back. How you doing, man?
Michael Cole.
Long time.
Sell it.
Yo, this nigga was like, give me camera 2, shot 3. Triple H came back and was
like, nah, it was crazy, man. Like, Seth comes out, they just form to just sing a song, and he walks back. It was just weird. And that's the thing about Raw. Don't waste our fucking time. Triple H don't he doesn't waste our time. Or at least not that much. It seems like you got Vince booking. He'll just waste your whole 3 hours. Sometimes it felt like, and then you get a little, maybe a payoff, some at the hour 2 mark, maybe. But yeah, man, it was rough. Weekday on Monday, SmackDown was better, like you said. It was better. It had those matches that actually had some continuity to it. Main event made perfect sense. Sammy versus Jay. I loved it, and we got the return of the bro. So shout out to Matt Riddle, man.
Bro.
Shout out to on Monday we got the return of the bro Matt Riddle. He had been taken out by Solo in the past, so all continuity comes in SmackDown to save Sami Zayn. After everything that we've seen him he's been through, I'm glad to see he's back.
And that goes back to the layer part of what I was saying, right?
Yeah.
So you think Kevin Owens and Sammy's done, and Sammy's just like, I'm conflicted, man. And I'm like, man, he's white. Like, man.
What he's not though.
No, it's not the bad white though. He a white with a good heart. You know what I'm saying? Like
But he's not white. He's like I think he's like Syrian, right? He's light.
Okay, so let me not disrespect the brother.
Yeah, I'm just being real. I mean, I get where you're coming from though. Yeah.
listen, I ginger, redhead. Listen, I'm ignorant. How about that?
No, it's all good.
Gotta admit it, gotta say it in the camera. Gotta say it in the camera. You know, I said something ignorant. I'm ignorant. Yes, I thought Sammy was white, but he was just down. You know what I'm saying? Just like, listen, I'm watching TV and a sidebar. I'm watching TV and we watching NBA TV and Adam Lefkoe, right? He hosts the show on Tuesdays when it's like when it's Adam Lefkoe and Candace and Shaq and Jamal Crawford, right? And Adam Lefkoe's white guy, and everybody was doing a little bit, and Adam Lefkoe's wife flashed across the screen, and I was like, my brother, I thought you was just around to be around, but you were around, you know what I'm saying? Like you were around and down, you know what I'm saying? Like so, I ain't know, you know, I was ignorant, you know what I'm saying? So back to Sammy, you dig? Like Sammy is Syrian. So, but when I'm just again, so that just proves my point. He just has he's pure.
Yeah, I just saw his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good job, man.
You're doing good.
You're doing good. Invited to the cookout, bro.
The cookout's at his crib.
His wife's house. Am I invited to the cookout? Shit. At this point, right? Shout out to Ian Lefkoe, man.
Oh man, welcome to Reasonably Late. Why this is so awesome, man. Oh man, so but this is what I'm saying. Layers, right? Layers to the story. Sammy is just like I still see him being manipulated, and Kevin is like, so that's not our problem. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not our problem. And Sammy's just like, you know, it's not.
I was in an abusive relationship, but I still love them. You know, it's like chill.
I think realistically too, like if we're being completely honest and being, and that's what I'm saying. If we're adding the human element into storytelling, and yes, we're talking about how we will handle it because we aren't clearly. We aren't as good as people as Sammy is, right?
No, I am, but you aren't.
But I think that's
nah, fuck it. Like, let's be real. You're KO of the group. I'm Sammy of the group.
That is absolutely the truth.
That's so sweet, Rod. It's a tag team. You're KO. I'm sorry.
That is the truth. Because I'm in my sweatpants, I'm in my t-shirt, and I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? And you like, I'm an empath, bro. I'm an empath.
Yeah, man.
I feel, empath, man, and I'm like, no, but what?
I know, but it's a thing where Sammy's that dude. You know, he's a very emotionally attached person, just like me. But I think that with this storyline, it makes sense. They waste my time on SmackDown. It made perfect sense, and we're seeing where it's going. And then him having the main event again with Jay. I love it. Listen, we'll talk about my highlights of the week.
And we know Vince ain't booked that shit. Guarantee that.
Yo, but yeah, shout out to Sammy and Jay put on a great show. Shout out to the Braun Brutes and Sheamus. It was such a way better show. Shout out to Judgment Day getting a spotlight on them. I love Judgment Day as getting that, the faction promo. You know, that classic faction promo where you have them all in the ring, they all get the mic for a little bit and talk their shit. And so I love that.
Did Dom actually say anything? They booed that motherfucker. Oh my god, I love this nigga. Cause
I do, man.
That nigga he got it. He got it. He got it.
He is. What did I say? We need to do like flashback because like once he came around, I was like, oh, Dom's here. All right, he's gonna make his money as a heel. He's one of those guys I see that immediately are like, and pretty much what he's doing is what I said, like a spoiled brat kind of gimmick, And we talked about this, like I was in Florida when we talked about this shit with Dom, but listen, I called it a mile away.
Bro,
But he's doing fantastic.
You called this shit before he won the tag titles with his dad, nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Like we said, he was gonna be an excellent heel, and I was like, man, he should be a really good babyface. He was like, nah, that's not gonna work. Like, nah, he has a punchable face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he gotta be a heel, man. He's doing a great job. He's on my list of this week of my top 5. So shout out to Dom. Shout out to everybody on SmackDown. They did their thing.
Well, shit, we kind of breezed through WWE, kind of.
Unless you have something that you really want, because WrestleMania, come on, you guys all saw it. Like, it was a great weekend.
I don't. I mean, honestly, I am in new. I am, like we said in the pre-show, I am in the new season, right?
Yeah, we're all in new territory right now. Yeah,
no. I'm prepared for. I'm just prepared for the new season of what they're presenting, right? So, like, as far as WrestleMania, they left us with a to be continued. Right. Yeah. And with that being said, like, I kind of don't really mind that, because I am appreciating the ride, right? I don't know what Brock and Cody's gonna be. I am gonna wait and see what it is. If Cody decides, if Cody is the one, if Cody beats Brock on his way of the redemption story, and like, homie just put in the chat, what if Cody wins Money in the Bank? And the chat, like, it's a whole bunch of layer again. Mm-hmm. Some more sauce, some more cheese, like, what I'm saying?
Like, there's a lot of possibilities. I think that Money in the Bank it's gonna be interesting. I need Jay in that bitch. I need Sammy in that. I need Cody all in the Money in the Bank this year. Those 3 guys, I want to be in it.
What if Money in the Bank is only niggas that was involved in the Bloodline story?
Jimmy, Jay, Solo.
Not. We talking about just Jay. Let's say. Oh, that'll be fire.
Brock,
Jimmy, Jay, and Solo is in. We talked about it. We said, what if the Bloodline is required to get the contract and then lay down for Roman?
That's what I was saying. So this makes it really interesting. I want Jimmy to get that opportunity to be in Money in the Bank as a solo act. I think it's a great moment for him. I think that him and his brother don't ever got a tag team again right now. Like, at this point where they're at, they don't ever have to be a tag team champions again, because they're that good at what they're doing that they're individuals at this point. So put them in the Money in the Bank is a perfect spot for them. And put Sammy in it, put Cody in it. There's going to be so many options where we're like, yo, this can go a million different ways. If you want to put Brock in there, because, Brock can't get a title match unless he, gets that briefcase, is an interesting dynamic. So I'm interested to see where they go. But we also got another announcement on SmackDown, which we didn't want to touch on. There's going to be a draft. So that's another, like, you talk about new season, there will be a draft, and they're going to mix it up again. I mean, we'll see where things go.
I'm telling you, Raquel and motherfucking Bianca is going to bang. Is going to slap. I think we might get Raquel and Rhea, but I really want to see Raquel and Bianca. I really want to see Raquel and Bianca. I think that is Bianca's next challenger. I think they can push each other to the limit, and I think that Raquel being a heel works best for her character.
Absolutely. Raquel is a heel for sure.
Yeah.
I think she'll be because now that they did the Bianca Rhea promo after WrestleMania, that should be WrestleMania next year.
Yeah, I think like I said, I think that's going to be the unification of the titles.
That should be WrestleMania next year, and I'm not sure if it's going to be unification, but I think they should face each other for one of the titles at least. Because I don't see them holding it, both of them, for this. I think they will drop it at some point. Shinsuke is returning. You're right. He will be returning as well. But yeah, this draft should be interesting. It's going to shake it up a little bit. I hear you want to see Raquel and Bianca. What I'm down to see is I need to see our guy, what's his name, Gunther, get some action with the Seth Rollins of the world. With Randy Orton. I want him on the same roster as those guys. I want him to see Gunther and just link up with some of the guys on Raw, because he kind of went through the whole SmackDown roster right now. Other than Sheamus, obviously he's been going around in circles with Sheamus. But yeah, I think Gunther and Bobby. But Bobby's also somebody who I need to see on the same roster as Roman. So that's another thing I'm waiting for. So those are my wishes with the draft. Drea, Bianca, and Street Profits should get drafted to Raw while Judgment Day gets drafted to SmackDown. I hear you.
I,
Finn
I think
be good out there.
I think that's gonna pretty much happen. But you talking about swapping titles? I'm down with United States Championship going to SmackDown and the IC Championship going to Raw.
I'm down with that too. Yeah.
I'm down.
Austin Theory on SmackDown. That could
Yeah,
work.
I'm absolutely down with that because I think Austin Theory as a secondary heel on SmackDown works because ultimately, Austin Theory versus Chad Gable, or I'm sorry, Chad Gable's on Raw. Damn, who's on SmackDown? Who's on SmackDown? Yo,
There's no Ricochet, Braun. They got
You think Santos and Austin Theory would go for the United States Championship?
well, since it's a draft, you can put him with anybody. But I think that Santos and Austin Theory will work. But I think Rey Mysterio clearly they kind of tease that with Austin Theory. I would like to see that further. Um, Now you got Sammy and KO, who will be good to go after all. After they drop the tag titles, Sammy Austin Theory can link. Um, we got Shinsuke and Austin Theory could be interesting. So yeah,
Yeah, Lashley versus Gunther is fire. I'm not gonna hold you. Lashley versus Karrion Cross is a good match too. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Bring Bray to Raw, hopefully. Listen, I'm not giving up on Bray. I'm not giving up on that guy. I know we haven't seen him, and but I hope he comes back soon.
He's injured. So like
All right.
whenever he come back, I think I just want him to come back with no expectations.
All right.
That's my thing. Like you know what I'm saying, like Bray's Cam Newton. I'm not giving up on that guy either. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want to have no expectations for you.
There's not 32 characters better than Bray Wyatt. They're not 32 characters better than Bray Wyatt.
I understand, but that nigga gonna have to be a backup somewhere. Man, that's what I'm trying to tell his ass. Shit. You want to see his ass too, nigga, but put on a fucking jersey first, nigga. Your ass got a cigar and a top hat on this motherfucker, nigga. Talking about, well, man.
Yeah. Bray's like, these are the people who I'll job to.
Get your ass
I
back,
will.
get your ass back on a roster, nigga. I don't
But
care. Level up, nigga.
level up.
Yo, speaking of leveled up, man, you want to get into our top fives early, or you want to? Cause it's some things that have been happening for me. Yeah.
All right. So, where you want to go to the power ranking or the top 5 underground performers of the week?
Let's go underground because I mentioned leveled up, and I'm just freestyling right now.
Yeah, for sure. I got my list.
All right. So you got your list?
Yep.
Let's go. I think we might need some imaging at some
We
point.
do need some images. We need there's a whole lot of things we need. Like there's a whole video I want to put together that we can go to segments and all that shit. But you want me to throw on my list, or you got your level up list?
I'm trying to find if we can find a little bed at the bottom of this. All right, go ahead and drop your underground, man. Let me lower it a little bit.
What is this?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. So we got.
I don't
This is interesting. My top 5 underground performers of the week, brought to you by Reed Wrestling Podcast, the underground professional wrestling podcast. Number 5, I got Nathan Frazier. He's just continued to deliver. Him and Dragon Lee had a match on NXT. Go check it out. The dude's slick, man. Number 4, Zoe Stark, man. I've been a fan of Zoe Stark since she debuted in NXT. I just like her moveset. I think she's getting a better attitude now. Her and Indy Hartwell had a decent match, and she kind of dominated Indy Hartwell in that match. Indy Hartwell skated by the skin of her teeth to keep the women's championship. Her goal was to make Indy Hartwell the shortest reigning women's champion, and Indy Hartwell got her in a roll-up in pin. She escaped. So Zoe Stark got some heel energy there that I like on NXT, and I want to see Nikita Lyons return to get that W over on her. when that happens. I hope she's doing well. Number 3, Commander, man. Commander is doing his thing over there on AEW, man. Underground Performer of the Week. Him and Sammy Guevara had a stunning match. The dudes, I mean, come on. The Luchadors right now are killing it. Commander, Jalistico, El Vikingo, they're all doing a great work. And Commander showed out on AEW with Sami Zayn. Number 4, Axiom. No, Axiom. Axiom is doing his damn thing. He did his damn thing on the ladder match. I mean, not the ladder match, the 5-way match in NXT. He's killing it. And then back to back with Wesley on NXT, they killed that night too. So, but number 5 is gotta give it to Wesley, man. Like, I'm not sure who people are watching, but this guy's killing it. He's been holding down the NXT North American Championship.
Wait, your number 1 is Wesley. Your Underground is number 1 is Wesley.
Yeah. Dude, he retained in the 5-way match and one of the coolest finishes, like that cross. It was awesome. And I had to rewind that bitch. You know, that cardiac kick is one of the illest finishers. You know, be doing that shit in WWE 2K23. That shit is dope. So shout out to Wesley, our guy. He retained. He's grown so much over the past year and hit as a single star. So I gotta hand it to him. Then he doubled back on NXT with Axiom and put on a great show. So both of those two guys are rounding up my top 5 of the Underground Performers of the Week. Now, your turn.
All right, so I got recency bias for my Underground. All right, and it's a tie between Anna Jay and Julia Hart at number 5.
Okay.
My recency bias in that is because they recently just had a match on Rampage. They main evented actually, and they had a really decent outing, man. Again, I like Anna Jay, crazy ass. I don't have a thing, but what she say? I'm a bitch, or I'm crazy, and I got a fat ass. So yeah, you flat.
He said that?
No, that's her catchphrase now. Her catchphrase is like, I'm crazy and I got a fat ass. Or I'm a bitch and I got a fat ass. Like it's her thing. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, I'm gonna choke you. Like, yeah,
I have not seen Anna Jay say that. Get me the clip because I need to see that.
Hold on. You don't know Anna Jay, nigga? Let me see if I can find that one time.
I'm crazy and I have a fat ass.
Yeah, I'm crazy and I have a
sounds like my type.
Yo, that nigga Jungle Boy in hell, ain't he? God damn, cuz.
If that is her catchphrase, that's the best catchphrase I've ever heard in my life.
Let me see if I can find it. Damn, when you type in Anna Jay on Twitter, it is foul. Let me just go ahead and let me shorten this up one time. Jesus. Yo, watch what you search. Let's just say that, man. Goodness gracious. All right, I'm trying to find it, but as I find it, I'm gonna go with my number 4 though. So my number 4 Underground this week is another recency bias. Billy Stark. Wrong fucking thing.
Billy Stark, okay.
Billy Stark, she is an indie darling. I mean, everybody was going up for her when they saw that she had this opportunity to wrestle Jade for the women's championship, for the TBS Women's Championship. They called her a prodigy. She has been, quote unquote, given the business for a little while, and it was dope to kind of see like the community and the universe just embrace one of their own and just encouraging and uplifting. So if it was an underground artist that I was listening to and I saw that they was young in the game but had it, you know what I'm saying? And all the OGs was like, yo, keep doing your thing. You gonna be it one day. That's what Billy Stark is right now in wrestling. So I want to give her a shout out to that.
Shout out to Billy Stark.
Number 3 is I'm gonna go ahead and piggyback, and I'm gonna add that nigga Jalistico. Ain't I'm saying that nigga name right?
Jalistico.
Never heard of him, never seen him. I was just like, oh, another one. That nigga Roosh brought out another one. How many brothers this nigga got? You know what I'm saying? Because we was just introduced to Dragon Lee when them niggas tore that shit down at ROH and he beat the fuck out of his little brother. You know what I'm saying? And so we got I got to bow it down to Orange Cassidy.
Wow! Finally, good shit,
dog. I just got to appreciate what it is and the athleticism. Again, when you sit back and think about it, like I'm sitting on my couch talking shit about something that I can't eat. I didn't know, like wrestle with your pockets. What? A kip out with up your hands. You know, like it's just like this nigga did an arm drag without no arms. His shit was in his pockets, nigga, and did an arm drag. It's like he had nubs, nigga.
Dude's talented, man.
I understand. I know. I got it. You know what I'm saying?
Dude's talented, man. Good for the flowers.
Again, shout out to Jalistico. He came out there and put on a slapper with Orange Cassidy. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta bow down. You know.
No, finish what you're saying.
Oh, go. What you gonna say?
Nope. I'm gonna say.
Number 2. I know we could not get that illegal stream up in time, but Vikingo and Commander, God damn it, man. What the fuck?
I haven't watched this still, man. I gotta get it.
Bruh. I know Jim Cornette was like, what the fuck, the Olympics? I'm watching
Jim Cornette. He's you know what's funny about him? He says some smart shit sometimes, but he's a hater. God damn, he's a hater. I've never heard such a hater. His podcast is just 2 haters just hating the entire time. Whoever that other nigga is.
I can't even hold you. I can't even hold you. I have never even searched the Jim Cornette podcast.
I don't search. It came up in my feed, and they were talking about it. Just the Cody Rhodes situation came on. I was like, let me listen to this shit. And his take on it, which he broke down the match. He talked about how they built the babyface like it was a perfect match for him and Roman until the finish. Like he gave out some props. He's like this is how you build a babyface. But he's like you kind of want to give it to him at this point, and he didn't like how Sammy and KO came in to give Roman a stunner and kick because you kind of want the babyface to win on their own. You want him to nullify and take out the distraction, but not interfere with the actual match. But then he ended up winning anyway. So then he was like, yeah, so kind of cancels it out. So he didn't win it. So but he's pretty smart about how to book, but he also is a hater, dude. He hates everybody. I'm not surprised if he hates that shit. But yeah, go on.
They aren't my number 2, but I just had to get them. I know I'm talking heavy in the mic. They ain't my number 2, but I just wanted to give a shout out to them niggas before I pass on through. My number 2 underground, my number 2 underground wrestler is another tie, but I think they about to be a tag if I'm not mistaken. Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson.
I've been missing Lash Legend. I haven't seen her in a minute.
Bruh, Level Up was the reason why this shit came. Listen, I said Level Up and it sparked, and this is the reason why we're here because of them two. All right, them two. with a little splash of soul. You know, a little
Okay.
soul in there, a little soul on there. You know what I'm saying? You can't get mad at seeing a little motherfucking flippity flip RKO from
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so Level Up got some talent. All right. And top talent to me is Jakara Jackson and Last Legend. All right. So that's my number 2 right there, dog.
Listen, I be seeing you on Instagram what you like and the comments you make about your car. So yeah, you know, she might be your type. I get it. I didn't even know she existed until you start liking her shit. So, so shout out to Jakara Jackson. You clearly have a fan.
Listen, it, it, it's the hair. Okay, you got a little color in your hair, possibly.
She is stacked. God damn, she's built. Shut- she is something. Shout out to Jakar Jackson. Full stack.
Her Rhea Ripley in 3 years is gonna break the Richter
What?
scale, brother. It's gonna shake the table.
Wow. Yo. That's something serious, dog.
Oh my god! You want to talk about being somewhere in person? My god!
Where did they find her?
Oh man! All right, and my number 1. This goes to my number 1. My number 1. All right, my number 1 underground wrestler. I mentioned him off camera, off screen. I said I had to bring him up. I had to talk about him. Mr. Darius Carter. If you don't know, if you haven't seen him, if you haven't heard of him, Darius Carter is, for one of the best in the business, and for 2, you search that nigga on Twitter, and he has one of the most envious wrestling maneuvers that happened over WrestleMania weekend ever. That nigga gave Faye Jackson a power driver.
Oh shit.
Big bruh, a power driver. Shit. I just
Jesus Christ. Yo, shout out to Faye, man. I haven't seen her in a minute too.
just because my wife gonna be like, oh, Jakara's that type. No. Okay. Faye get that shit flipped over too, nigga. Why you bullshitting?
Yeah. Yeah, I see. That's the thing. I don't miss the days when my girl used to watch my pod because I used to get to, it's like, oh, you heard that?
Oh, man. So you
Nah.
just gotta cover all your bases, nigga.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
absolutely
saying? I
not.
mentioned white bitches last week. You know that shit tight. No, you know? Jakara with orange hair, that shit tight. No, you know what I'm saying? You know, you just gotta cover your bases.
Oh, Faye's got up in a pop.
Yes, sir. Bruh, ain't no
Oh
way.
my
They
god.
wouldn't the motherfucking like wiggled a little bit. Like, what you doing, boy? You know what I'm saying? Like,
A lot of motion.
what you doing? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. You know, thought that was the part of the show.
Yo, shout out to her for even taking that move. Shit. That's wild. But yo, that's Derek Carr. Yo, listen, that's the type of interactivity we need on our podcast. You know, bringing up the independence, and I like that. I'm glad you brought him up. I'll definitely take a look at him. He seems like he's a heel. He's kicking ass.
Yes, and a belt collector in this show. So I dig their brother. And one time down, Shane Taylor is back. Is back on the scene, wrestling Big Bad O'Shea That joint gonna slap. O'Shea Edwards versus Shane Taylor.
Oh fuck yeah.
They gonna have a crazy mentor versus mentee type of situation. So I just want to get out shout. So yeah, that's my top five that had like 17 people in that shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Talk about a fat ass and a bad attitude. That's what I found. I found the clip.
Yo, you
Yeah,
did? All right.
yeah, fat ass and a bad attitude. I'd never heard it before, but that shit got hard.
Ass and a bad attitude. And I was like, okay, and that's what Jungle Boy told you. Shit, he hyping the hell out of his bitch because she going out and telling the public. She telling the world. My man said, I got a fat ass and a bad attitude.
That's my type. Shit. Fat asses and bad attitude. Every time gets me.
Oh man. You want to go into the next set of top five before we roll out of here with AEW? Because I ain't really got too much about AEW, but I got something on AEW.
All right, bet. Number 5, power ranking, performer of the week or moments of the week. Number 5, I gotta go to Carmelo Hayes. He is the new NXT champion, and it's back with Braun Breaker. They're not leaving yet, not getting called up yet. And Braun Breaker turned heel, which you called it, and which I'm here for it. I think they got chemistry. That was the youngest NXT main event on WrestleMania weekend in history. Excuse me. So these two guys are essentially prodigies. And to be honest with you, they don't even have to leave NXT anytime soon, both of them, because they're two of the biggest stars there. Like I think that they can start to bring eyes to the brand. I know we talked about bringing them up, but
Melo won the title, he can drop it back. Melo won the title, he can drop it back and come up.
Okay.
Braun can be a heel 3-time champion. They quote him as the most dominant NXT champion of his generation.
Yeah.
If he wins it for the 3rd time as a heel, then he has, baby faces that he can challenge now, and I think we can switch the dynamic up. But Carmelo being the only person winning 3 singles championships, he actually just say he's the only cruiserweight champion to win the NXT championship, while also gathering the North American championship. Yeah, I think he can. He has that accolade. I think they have Avengers Day pay-per-view where Trick is banned from or Braun takes out Trick. You know what I'm saying? Where I think he just eliminates Trick and it's just a one-on-one match. Because I think right now it's Carmelo being a babyface. It's really hard for him to have Trick Williams. But if they're gonna send him up, then him and Trick can go up together. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. Yeah, I think I went with it. But they really did bring me to the show. Like I want to see what they were gonna do with those two guys, and not only them, Wesley and Axiom. So like I think I'm gonna be tuning into NXT a lot more often after the weekend they had. They really impressed me. A lot of most of my lists for underrated performers, and now going into my top 5 performers of the week is now starting with my power ranking with Carmelo Hayes. They showed out. They showed out. NXT gets a lot of props this week. I gotta hand it to them. So number 4, Dominic Mysterio, dude got the heat, bro. Super over.
That nigga Mexican heat.
Mexican heat for sure, man. And the stuff with Bad Bunny, him and Damian Priest. I think that what he's doing is helping Damian Priest even. Like I think that he's helping Damian Priest more than Damian Priest is even helping him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so and that gives Damian Priest a embedded storyline for this match at Puerto Rico with Bad Bunny. It's probably gonna be Damian Priest and Dominic versus Rey Mysterio and Bad Bunny, which would be dope to see with some kind of like like LWO in their corner. That's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be really hot in Puerto Rico to see the Latinos get their moments all together in a match with Bad Bunny and him representing his home country. Damian Priest is going back to his home country. It's going to be dope for them. So shout out to all them. But Dominic Mysterio is number 4 on my best performer of the week power ranking. Number 3, top guys, FTR.
We'll talk about it. New AEW Tag Team Champions. They show why they are one of the best tag teams in the business. Arguably, some people say they are the best tag team. I wouldn't go there yet, but they are back to being 2-time AEW Tag Team Champions. They really did put the Guns in a great spot in the main event, and I think they are, like I said, a main event act. So you put them in the main event with the Guns. The Guns did their thing as a heel tag team, and it got them over as a heel tag team. We'll see where they go from now, but they need to put the belts back on FTR. I'm glad they did so. Number 2 is the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. I mean, it's hard to have this list without having the best wrestler in the world on it. Roman Reigns pulled it out, obviously, in WrestleMania. Got the heat on Monday. Didn't even have to show up on Friday, but his aura, his presence is always felt with Paul Heyman, just giving the orders on his behalf and essentially holding down the fort and giving the essence of like, yo, the Tribal Chief is not happy, and that alone gives an aura for the show and makes it feel like there are stakes and that you want to tune in next time he's on screen. So shout out to Roman Reigns, best in the business. And number 1, I gotta give it to KO and Sami Zayn. They right now hot as hell. I wanted to put Cody on the list this week, but there wasn't enough room. But I still think KO and Sami Zayn probably are. They got the victory, at WrestleMania in the main event. They had a great storyline, best storyline told probably this week, all the way through. I know there's a lot of stuff going on in AEW as well, but to me, the bloodline stuff, like you said, has not lost completely steam. Everything makes sense. Even though there's layers, they are making the right choices going forward with it, and it does not work without KO and Sami, and particularly Sami, though. He is primarily my number 1 act this week from beginning to for the whole week. Yeah, he stood out to me, and he's been standing out for a long time, but he feels like he's getting the respect he deserves. He's a tag team champion, and him and Jay tore the house down in the main event. So shout out to them. And and Matt Riddle's getting a rub from him. The fact that we're at a point where Sami Zayn can give Matt Riddle the rub is so dope.
I won't disagree with that. Sammy has been one of, if not the top wrestler in the business for a couple months now. This nigga got Uzi over. And so that's a good list. So I'm gonna go a little unconventional from what we usually talk about, though, because recency bias. So,
well, this list is recency bias. This was supposed to be recency.
So yeah. With that being said, number 5, Mercedes Moné. I woke up this morning at 4:00 this morning and checked Twitter, and she was dominating.
She got a picture?
No, they wrestled. They had a New Japan had a show.
Okay.
She was in a triple threat match, and I apologize for my ignorance.
Don't try it.
Wrestle AZM. I'm just gonna say how Mercedes. I know it's the wrong way, so I'm just being as ignorant as Mercedes. But I know it's AZM, but it's said a different way. You know what I'm saying?
Is that name of one person or 2 people?
It's one person. One person is AZM.
Okay.
But it's said a different way.
Okay.
She wrestled another lady. So it was a triple threat. A really good match. But Sasha Banks retained. Also on that card, which is number 4, Sonata.
He looks like freaking Okada now.
Who just beat Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. He is now the new
Okada.
IWGP Heavyweight Champion over there in New Japan.
I need to watch that match.
It was a cover of a magazine, I believe, where it was LIJ, and everybody had like a trophy or a belt, and they just look super badass. And my nigga was just like, with nothing. You know what I'm saying?
He was like, what?
The top guy. You know what I'm saying? Huh?
Oh,
nothing.
Okay.
It's a picture that they had where the whole group was just strapped up with gold, essentially,
Okay.
and my nigga was just in the cut,
Okay.
noticeably less drippy. You know what I'm saying? And now my nigga, is the world heavyweight champion over there. Number 3, is your number 1, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They captured the unified tag team championships at WrestleMania. They continue to be a part of one of the most best inclusive and intriguing storylines that WWE has had in quite some time. We've been doing this podcast for 5 years, and there hasn't really been anything quite like this. And they are the catalyst of it. So Sami Zayn and KO, and again, we talk about sauce and layer. As Sami Zayn is talking to Jay, as KO told him not to do it. Guess who gets attacked? KO, and Sammy's not there. So it's just a thing. You know what I'm saying? So just another little wrinkle, another little tear in a relationship that was already needing of repairing. You know what I mean? So again, another layer. I dig it. So number 2, when you talk about best wrestlers of the week, I guess we really can't excuse me. We can't really say anything negative about the return of Bryan Danielson, who's my number 2. I know it might be a little bit shocking for me to say that, but him returning back, beating the fuck out of Hangman, and then beating the shit out of Kenny Omega, and then the motivations of just being an angry vegan who can't eat meat. I understand he got 2 badass kids at the house. His wife is now a Garcia. This nigga is just I'm coming back to work to beat some fucking ass. And that's what he's doing. So yeah. That nigga went home and was like, "This is what Tom Brady had to deal with. I'm leaving. I gotta take kids to school."
Nigga shed tears. Said his gonna go home to his kids and family.
That
2 weeks later. Fuck that.
Yeah, Tom Brady, nigga. That nigga said the Bucks should need me, right? You need me? All right. I'm coming back. Coming back.
You're filming
coming back, nigga.
Total Garcias. What are you filming? I'm out.
She got a new podcast. She got a new show. Oh, nigga, I'm about to be on camera and on nigga. No.
You saw the cameras walk right back out.
No. Yeah. That nigga was like the Simpsons granddad, nigga. I respect the nigga doing something that I really can't do all the time. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Bryan Danielson. He's not number 2. And my number 1, man, Master Manipulator, the winner of Sunday's match, the ruler of all of the wrestling world, Roman Reigns.
Okay. I like your list, man. I do. I like your list. It's a little bit better than mine, to be honest. But Daniel Bryan being that high, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, but, my nigga beat the Kenny Omega and then say, "You want some too, old man? The Hangman. I'll send your depressed ass back home too, bitch."
Yo, man, in a way, and let's go to it. AEW had the Blackpool Combat Club come out, they beat ass, and then they talk their shit about how everybody else is amateurs. But I think about this is that they all recently lost big losses, big L's.
big L's, fat L's. So it don't ring as strong as it used to when you talked about creating the Blackpool Combat Club. And I get where they're trying to go with it, but we've seen you versus Hangman, we've seen you versus Kenny Omega, we've seen Bryan Danielson talk his shit before. I need something more to why the motivation? Why now? Because you got your ass beat, because you got choked out. And that's the kind of thing I need somebody else to say. If they can bring that full circle, like you guys all got your ass beat, and now you guys want to fight. You want to fight. You guys all got choked out. You got choked out. And did Yuta get choked out, or did he just lose the Pure Championship off of just GP?
I think he tapped, if I'm not mistaken.
He tapped too. They all fucking tapped.
I think he tapped the Shibata.
Only person is Claudio, who hasn't lost, in a big way. And to me, he's the most least charismatic of all of them. And that's saying a lot because Yuta's there. But it kind of rings hollow to me. Although I do like that they are using them as a unit.
That nigga, I will say this. You're saying that the difficulty to follow why now is not really hard. It is. I do believe it's easy motivation, considering the fact that they got together because they just wanted to beat people up. And then they got wrapped up in the shit that everybody else got wrapped up in. And you can see how that knocked them off their path, right? Because being the best, they was holding the titles, but like Moxley then went behind the curtain already. He did the interview with Renee and was like, it's business. I did business. I'm dropping it to Punk and whatever the case. So it ain't the fact that you hold the titles to be the best. Like, so we already stripped that away. Your thing is that you just want to beat people ass. You just want to beat people up. So again, now you have more motivation.
But they're making it about being really professional wrestlers now. That's not just about beating people's ass. That's about being a professional wrestler. Guess what? In professional wrestling matches, you guys tap the fuck out. That doesn't make and as you can say, oh, they're heels. It's not supposed to make sense. I believe that even as heels, you got to make some kind of moral, connection. You can't be completely delusional, especially when you're coming from a guy who's like Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley.
I don't think it'll be delusional. I don't think it'll be delusional of like, yeah, in professional. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, and they have the ability again to take. You want to say now? This is the thing: the blending, the blending, right?
Mm-hmm.
I take liberty now, right? You combine the kayfabe shit of like, yo, I'm tired of these motherfuckers thinking that they better than us, they on par with us. If I lose a match, I tapped out like in the match. But legitimately, I can beat your fucking ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think
that's not what they're saying. They're saying that they are professional wrestlers. Everybody else is amateurs.
But I understand. Again,
yeah.
That's the thing. Who's the best bout machine? Kenny Omega. How are you better? You better. Daniel Bryan's like, you better than me. I tapped out one time. Okay, and again, I will beat your ass in here. You know what I'm saying? I think that is still a thing. Like, I think that is the thing. And
He's like, I tapped out. So what? It's like the kid who gets fouled. And like, no, the kid who fouls somebody and then takes the ball and goes home. Like, yo, you like chill the fuck out. Like,
I think this is the nigga that fouls and he enjoys fouling. That's the worst nigga to play with. But
he's getting his ass beat at the same time, so he just fouls you.
No, the nigga, no. This is okay. Let's just put it in a scenario. If a nigga playing defense and he fouling you, but you score, that's a tough bucket. That nigga live with that because he beat your ass for that bucket. He beat your ass for nigga. You like, damn, nigga, we playing. Damn, but man, play ball. Stop bitching. Play ball.
It's like, nigga, you punched me in the face.
No, did you score? Did you score? Check up, nigga. You be like, I don't want to. What?
What's going on? Shit, that's what's going on, and those guys kind of you irritate me, man. I don't want to fucking play with you, nigga. Get the fuck out of here.
And I think, listen, Kenny, but if you being honest, like, Kenny and Kenny and Daniel Bryan, right? You take them out the element, right? If Daniel Bryan's saying I'm the best professional wrestler, but like Kenny's saying, like, yo, you beating my ass. And so Daniel Bryan's like, meet me at my level type shit. Now it's the heel. He's bringing Kenny down a peg because if Kenny is better than him, Kenny can't beat him in this brawling thing, right? You go back to John Moxley and Adam Hangman Page, right? Yeah, Moxley lost to Hangman, but he already took it behind the curtain. It was like, I wanted to do a cool or whatever the case may be. But Adam Hangman is like had to go down to go to Moxley's level. That's a place that Moxley lives at. You know what I'm saying? So again,
and he's mad at it.
And but he didn't necessarily. But this is my thing. You talking about a sick, deranged motherfucker that loves to fight? I take an L, but I didn't lose this shit ain't over till you gotta kill me. You should. These niggas is crazy right now. You know, like,
Okay.
that's the story.
Okay.
Like, you like Smokey Smoke, shoot him. Like that's what you got to do with these niggas.
Okay. If you're going there, then I'll wait and see. Because at this point, I need to see them really build. Listen, they're just crazy. And
I mean,
and,
if they band together, listen, if you band together, we have Blood and Guts with Blackpool Book Combat Club, and you got the Elite and Adam Hangman Page. I mean, that'd
right. Be dope, but are we gonna do that with the women and the men in one night? That'd be crazy.
I mean, you got 2 War Game matches. Why not?
I mean, fuck it. Yeah, let's do it. Run it up. I'm down. And
speaking of running it up, shout out to Tony Khan running up in Wembley Stadium.
Speaking of running it up, London, Wembley Stadium, all in.
Is it all in?
All in. All in will be in Wembley Stadium. I'm not sure what the date is, but shout out to them, man. That's huge. Honestly, that's gonna be a crazy crowd.
It's gonna be a crazy crowd, and guess who's gonna get a nice pop? Our AEW's Women's Champion, who put on a banger of a match, who should have been on my OLI, which she is on my OLI. Jamie Hayter, baby.
Haterade.
I can't wait to see Haterade and Saraya in London. That crowd gonna go stupid.
Yeah.
That crowd gonna go crazy. So I'm excited. I'm a hater. I'm a haterade. I'm a hater.
Sipping that haterade. Yeah. A lot of y'all be sipping that haterade. Listen, I am still waiting to see. And she is a great wrestler. It's not about her wrestling.
Yeah, her and Riho put on a fucking crazy match.
Great match. So shout out to Jamie Hayter. I debated, putting her on my list, but she didn't make it this week. But
I was gonna say it was a title defense, just like Sasha was a title defense, but Sasha actually Sasha's making her stand for Japan, which I think shout out to Phil. He was like, yo, she's 7 in peak. Yeah, she hasn't. Like she's literally like, oh, this water's nigga, I can swim in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, so she ain't even hit no tricks yet. She just, she's just getting acclimated. So I think she's gonna dominate over there. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
So
and it's big for New Japan, honestly.
Absolutely.
It's great.
Absolutely. She's definitely a needle mover for them. Not so much that listen. I was gonna pirate the show. I was gonna buy it. I was gonna pirate it, but Twitter told me.
What time was it on? They'd be on random times over here.
4 a.m.
Be like,
I didn't have to wake up and go piss. I would not have even seen it until this morning, like this afternoon.
Nigga, I'm dead sleep in the middle of hell. I have no way. But no, shout out to them.
Tomorrow, nigga, type shit, nigga.
Shout out to Jamie Hayter as well. You listed that. She had a great match. But I also need to shout out AEW for acquiring the Switchblade, Jay White. We all had speculation on where was he going to go. He clearly is all elite. He's in a feud now with Ricky Starks. He helped out Juice Robinson.
Some people didn't like it. Some people said it was mid.
It is a mid. I'm going to be honest. The debut was mid. He just ran out there for a beatdown. That was it. With all the speculation and buildup, they could have done a lot to make it like the lights could have went out. They could have done something.
They could have actually had the match first, and then Juice is in peril, and then you hear the shling,
something like that.
But
they don't really, like I always say with AEW, they're so close, but so far sometimes. They just missed like you can make it so much hotter, but they just missed the production on the elements of that. Because we've been talking about Jay White for months, bro. And from to just anticlimactically just run out there, I was
Jay
like,
White
what?
was considered to be the best heel in the business amongst Roman Reigns
Yo,
and MJF when he was.
he was up there. Absolutely. You were saying that he's the best heel. You said this. You go back and watch it on our YouTube. You have a whole clip out there with this. So yeah, Switchblade. I mean, I want to see him in NXT. Unfortunately, they dropped the ball. You know,
We gotta stop saying dropping the ball, man. Like niggas saying that they dropped the ball with Cody. Niggas saying they dropped the ball without signing Jay White. Listen, man, as you can tell, there's always something bigger. And I think AEW had the bigger bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
I
can't
think that
do that.
from my point of view, I think Jay White acquisition to NXT would have been a shot of adrenaline to their roster for me, and for a certain type of crowd base, fan base, New Japan, underground hardcore wrestling fan base, which I think they need certain stars to come in from there and give that, provide that. They have very few on the roster that are like that, but hey, we didn't get it, so I do think it's a drop in the ball for me. But it might not be for them. They might be like, oh, it's Jay White, who gives a fuck, And AEW, that's a huge get for them if they use him the right way. There's so many things you can do with him, but this debut was wow. It was mid.
Well, I mean, my thing with them is, again, you talking about, do I want to get Jay White or try to get Kota Ibushi?
Get both.
I get. Okay, that
right. No, well, WWE is not going to get Kota. Kota's not coming to WWE.
I know, but you're saying like but that's what I mean. Like, but if you have a play, you know what I mean. Like, if there's a play, just like if there was a play to get Kenny, right? Am I wasting a roster spot for Jay White if I have Kenny? Right there's just you got to look at quarterback shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? They like. You heard Mike Greenberg like draft a quarterback. Draft a quarterback. That's the stupidest fucking thing. Draft a quarterback, nigga. Like, so
been there, done that.
Niggas like, I got Kota Ibushi nigga on the line. Jay White. Get Jay White. Pay Jay.
I mean, Jay White is probably a better acquisition than Kota. I'm going to be quite honest with you. I mean, the guy can talk. The guy is just a great, heel. He has the cachet coming with it. He was the guy people were talking about, not Kota. I mean, me personally, I want to see Kota too, but Kota and Jay White will be in AEW, and we'll see where it goes. But right now, it's going to be interesting with the rest of this year because contracts are coming up. So we'll see what goes on. Like you said, if you're making play for Kenny Omega, that'll be great. But I don't see Kenny leaving. I know there's certain FTR just re-signed, so like I don't see.
No.
What?
No, I'm saying I don't see. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
So that's my thing. Like WWE is looking at it like, you see, WWE is looking at it as like, okay, if we get Jay White, you say he goes to NXT, but I think that's a huge investment for something that isn't you talking about that isn't necessarily we let off the show Business and Logic, right? We've found out and learned that NXT loses WWE money. So again, to put money into something that loses money, I don't think Jay White. Again, we talking about moving the needle. He won't push merch. I don't think he'll push TV TV ratings.
I'm not saying he's like a must. I mean, WrestleMania around the corner. I'm not saying he was like a must, like priority. They got so much going on. I mean, I can see why they missed it, but I do think he would have been an asset to NXT. I definitely think that, he would have been definitely an asset, but hey, he went to AEW, time lapsed, he got the deal, last week or so, and he went. And so that's his prerogative. Now we'll get to see Jay White for the next couple of years in AEW. To me, even for Jay White, I thought NXT would be better for him. Like, I just felt like now you going to AEW, it's kind of like what we kind of expected. Like, it's like now you're going to fall in line with the whole AEW way of things and just like the Bullet Club and
I mean that's the alternative. That is
yeah, we'll see how it goes. Do I see him winning a championship in AEW? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I do see him extending this feud with Kenny Omega, which I love. Like, I think I would love that once they have acclimated themselves back into where they like singles thing and what they're doing. Jay White and Kenny produce magic. Jay White has the talk of it. Kenny has the IWG United States Championship. That like they have something that's there. So
of course, yeah.
yeah, so
Things, right?
I would kind of love to see that.
And real quick, speaking of contracts coming to an end, I hear there's a dispute with Drew McIntyre that he's not happy with his creative and he's not happy with the money they are offering him. So there is speculation that he might be leaving the company. Clearly, he wasn't on SmackDown this week. They had plans for him, but then he didn't. They took him off the plans. That's what the word around town is. I think they'll get the deal done because Drew McIntyre is a huge star for WWE. But I'm telling you, man, like with their another game being in town, you have the opportunity to play these games. Like, all right, let's see if I can get more money from AEW. Let's see if I can get more money from WWE. I'm going to wait and hold off of my contract negotiations and wait and see. It's what Lamar Jackson's doing. You know, it's like, yo, am I going to re-sign with the Baltimore Ravens for when I know I'm worth more, and wait until the last minute to re-sign and get that biggest bag that you're worth. So shout out to Drew. Hope it goes well. But if something like this happens with even like Bayley's tweeting cryptically. I mean, she might leave. I don't know. These are opportunities outside of WWE with New Japan to bring eyes and AEW to bring eyes, which I think over the next couple of years, the next year or two, we're going to see a lot of mixing. I think that's what's going to happen. I'm not sure if Andrade is coming back. I'm not sure if MJF is going to go to WWE, which would be great for him. I think he has to leave AEW.
Well, that was the point. That was the point of Cody doing what he did and saying what he's saying, and like that's his biggest pride. Like his biggest pride in the business is being able to make sure that the boys have 100% better of a piece of the pie. And with that being said, you got somebody like again Tony Khan who's going to pay Adam Cole, Keith Lee, and give MJF a pay bump. Like you got someone who's not scared to pay the guys, who's not going to lowball them. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a great partnership that Cody, Nick, and Matt and Kenny all was able to partner up with Tony and figure that out because he's an asset to the business. So with that being said, AEW is in the great space. I love the situation that they're in right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think Jay White just boosts their relationship with New Japan. Even though the contract is up, it's still a fluid community, a fluid open line of communication. So Jay White being with AEW, even if he wants to continue something with a one shot or end some tie a knot with New Japan with Forbidden Door, like I think all of that is great. I think that with Wembley, Forbidden Door, you know, All Out, they are really in a great.
It makes sense for him, absolutely. Yeah. I think that makes sense for Jay White. So shout out to Jay White.
I like it,
but I just think they needed to get. There should have been it should have been an AJ Styles moment for them.
Yes.
They, you know, and they didn't do it. I mean, you know, I know he's appeared on the show before, but still, we were talking about Jay White for like the past 3-4 months, and then you just have him walk out. Hey, so it's neither here nor there. But yeah, anything else you want to hit on?
I don't have anything else. You got anything else?
No. I think that you know, the MJF had a promo. He had his Long Island thing. I think could have done better with it. You know, him and Jungle Boy did have a couple back and forth and what they're doing there, but I don't think that him and Jungle Boy are not the only part of people. They're not the only guys in this angle. I think that they are treating Darby Allin and Sammy Guevara like they're not a part of this angle. If they're doing the Fatal 4-Way.
Well, no, Sammy Guevara just posed with the title and the joint. He was a part of it. But shout out to before one time down before we got Darby Allin had a match on Battle of Belts, Rampage 1 and 2. Got his ass whipped at the end by Swerve in the Embassy.
You see what I mean? Like that's what I mean. Like it's like, what does that have to do with MJF in the Fatal 4-Way? I think that. Like I mean, maybe they're not doing it. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it. Maybe it is a Jungle Boy and MJF program alone, but down the line he'll get to Sammy Guevara, and Darby Allin. Shout out to Swerve and Mogul Affiliates. They're now uniting with the Embassy. But you know, You know,
I love a merger of black business.
a merger with the embassy. That's what's up. You know, so but I don't get where they're going with Darby. I don't get where they're doing with Sammy. Of why they had that promo then. That Four Corners promo. They're not going to do it. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to give it time.
I mean, AEW is a master of the long-term booking. They're a master of the tease. You get everybody wanting something, and then you put them in because like, hey, we thought we was gonna get it, and we get it.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't hear you. Yeah. But I know I completely get where you're going from, and I think that's what the kind of like what people were getting with the Cody thing is like they're forgetting that wrestling is giving you that tease and then deciding when to give the fans what they want. And my nephew was saying like he's like, oh man, he's like, oh, they always do this in wrestling. They always they gotta change, they gotta evolve. I'm like, oh, this is what wrestling is. This is what they've done to you kids. Me as a kid, I remember waiting to see, certain matches happen, Bret to win the championship and then, lose it to Shawn Michaels. Like there's certain there's certain things that just happen. Your favorite doesn't always win, and you will have to wait to see the culmination of the story down the line. And that payoff is when to get the payoff. It's business, but it's also like, how can you get the best reaction? How can you drag it out so you're still entertained with this person and this act along the way?
So, with that being said, like I don't honestly like because I don't think Darby and Sammy and Jungle Boy was on MJF level anyway. So I do think that they need to stack wins. They need to get back mattering because just jumping into a feud with MJF just brings MJF down to pay. Look, this motherfucker singing now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just bleeding and saying, I'm the devil. And all this nigga's crying because he's Jewish and they gave him a key to the city.
And chatting, getting popped for ADHD or ADD. Listen,
man, he's a fraud.
No, he ain't. No, don't say that. Don't say that.
If you the devil, be the devil. Don't. When we say, listen, when you throw a drink on a kid and we say he lived the character in kayfabe, and when he's on Twitter and he calls a little black girl whatever he fucking said derogatory, don't accept the key to the city. Almost cry, nigga. Call them scumbags. Throw they fucking throw a Mazel cocktail through the fucking.
If he wants to be a true heel, at some point MJF should get Long Island to turn on him. If he can do that, then cool. You want to be the best heel in the business, get your hometown to turn on you. Challenge. You gonna accept it?
Fraud. Yeah. And I'm gonna end it on that.
All right.
Anything else, brother?
Nah, you said it. That's it.
All right, man. Everything is not love, apparently, but everything is.
Noted.
Love.
Everything is. Yeah. All is love. Everything is wrestling, and we will be out. Check us out on 420 at 420 live here on 420. But before that, we do got another episode next week. But just keeping that, if you're here with us, check. Actually, no, we don't have another episode. No, we do. The 16th will be back.
The
and
15th
then,
or 15th,
the 15th into the 17th probably, and then 420. We got 2 more episodes, and that'll be our 200th episode. We're inviting everybody, all our fans, all our friends. So join us live then.
Yes, sir. And we out this bitch.
Peace.